in China and Japan in about 100 countries and territories. More than 670 people have died. North Korea says it hasn't confirmed any infections, but thousands of people have been quarantined. Some foreigners among them, including diplomats, were released and left the country Monday on a special flight. The flight operated by the state-run Air Koryo arrived in Vladivostok. Diplomats spoke about the situation in the north.
Business as normal, but you can see, I mentioned that everybody wears their masks, like we do, but without exception. Everybody does that. And there is a certain tension in the city and all over the country because people are aware of the coronavirus.
To fend off the virus, Pyongyang has quarantined more than 380 foreign nationals, including envoys and their families. The quarantine was partly lifted this month, and the special flight was arranged for those who wanted to leave. North Korea's ruling party newspaper Rodong Sinmun reported on Monday the country has quarantined nearly 10,000 people so far. It says about 40% of them have already been released. It's thought those released include diplomats and their families in Pyongyang. And in China, authorities say there were 40 new confirmed infections on Sunday, making for the third straight day with totals below 100. Most of the new cases are still coming from Hubei province, where residents continue to lob criticism at local officials. A video circulating on social media has become a flashpoint for that anger. In it, Vice Premier Sun Chunlan visits an apartment in Wuhan where goods were being delivered to homes on lockdown. But locals were heard yelling that the whole thing was staged. The video has since been removed from social media. Meanwhile, Chinese state-run media says the government is showing its commitment to the global fight against the virus, including through a $20 million donation to the WHO. It says the money will help developing countries with vulnerable public health systems. Now, people across Japan are coming up with new ways to cope with school closures urged by the government to prevent the spread of the virus. NHK World's Keiichi Takamura found out how one family is making it work.
Life of Atsuko Okita and her two girls looks a lot like this these days, ever since they stopped going to school last week.
I can't do anything. It's so boring.
Okita is trying to keep them home as much as possible. The reason has just as much to do with social stigmas than out of fear of the coronavirus.
I'm afraid of what people might say if I'm out with my children. It would be very hard for me to tolerate.
Japan's government made the abrupt decision late last month to ask schools to close to protect kids from the coronavirus. Okita is doing what she can to keep her kids active. She's part of a support group for mothers. After schools were shut down, she started an online gymnastics program. It also gives parents a break.
Private lessons were cancelled and the children's center was also closed, so this is very refreshing.
But all of that time indoors can be stressful.
Mom, I can't solve this question.
Okita says she's always with her children and has no time for herself.
Honestly, I'm quite tired, and it has just been a week.
This child advocate says some parents may feel the same.
Both parents and children get irritated when stress increases. It could lead to physical abuse. I urge parents to feel free to ask for help.
Schools across Japan are expected to stay closed for at least one more week. It's not clear how long it could continue or just how effective it is in containing the spread of the virus. For now, Okita will continue to keep her kids inside and come up with ways to keep them busy and the stress levels low. Keiichi Takamura, NHK World, Tokyo.
The number of confirmed cases in Japan has reached almost 500. The tally does not include about 700 people from the Diamond Princess cruise ship or about a dozen who returned on chartered flights from China's Hubei province. 16 people have died, including 7 from the U.S.-operated cruise ship that was quarantined near Tokyo for over 2 weeks. More than 100 infections have been confirmed in the northern prefecture of Hokkaido. Dozens of cases have also been reported in other major prefectures such as Aichi, Tokyo, and Osaka. Health officials say about 60 patients are in serious condition. They also say over 300 people have recovered and have been released from the hospital. The outbreak is also affecting sports. Japan's Professional Baseball League has decided to postpone the playing season, which was to get underway next week.
We've decided to postpone the opening game of the baseball season. We will continue to consult with experts with the aim of starting the season before the end of April at the latest.
The Nippon Professional Baseball League on Monday discussed measures to deal with the coronavirus outbreak. The delayed start will be the first since 2011, when Japan was hit by a powerful earthquake and tsunami. The decision was based on advice from medical experts provided to the country's professional baseball and soccer leagues. The soccer league currently plans to restart games on March 18th. The soccer season began last month and ran for only 3 days before being suspended. At a time when the new coronavirus outbreak is causing shortages of face masks, a local politician in central Japan made over $80,000 selling thousands of masks through online auctions.
I sincerely apologize for what I have done.
Shizuoka Prefectural Assembly member Hiroyuki Morita said on Monday at a news conference that putting the masks up for auction during a time of crisis was insensitive. He auctioned boxes of 2,000 masks 89 times between February 4th and March 6th, making a total revenue of about $86,500. The assemblyman explained that the masks had been sitting on the shelf for a few years at a trading company he runs and stressed that they were not being resold. Morita plans to donate the auction revenue to a worthwhile cause and intends to continue serving in the assembly. After any natural disaster, the recovery process involves sharing the lessons learned in the hope of saving lives in the future. That's become an important mission for one elementary school in an area that was devastated by the March 2011 earthquake and tsunami. And a warning, some viewers may find images in this report disturbing.
Iwate Tsunami Memorial Museum opened in September 2019. These students from a local elementary school in Rikuzen, Takata arrived on a mission to learn more about a day they were too young to remember.
I thought it was scary and saw how dangerous it was.
I found out more about that terrible thing.
Principal Mieko Konno had been looking for ways to teach children about the tsunami. She lost both her parents in the disaster. Konno was concerned about how to share the pain of the past with such young children. But she realized they should understand more about the horror of what happened 9 years ago.
If we don't do anything, people won't be able to pass on their memories of the disaster. I want to make sure we leave our mark, to show what we went through.
The sixth graders, who were only 3 years old at the time of the tsunami, received an assignment to prepare presentations combining what they had learned with their own experiences.
You should put in a bit of what you did or saw when you had to evacuate.
I ran away with my sister.
My big brother ran away first.
My mom and dad came here, and then the whole family escaped together.
Kanon Ojima and her family lost their home in the tsunami, and they live in public housing. For a long time, Kanon did not want to talk about the disaster.
For about a year after the disaster, Kanon would be terrified every time she heard an earthquake alert.
But the arrival of a little sister gave her a new perspective.
津波が来たら高いところに逃げる。そう。覚えた？自分の命を。
Now, I want to tell my sister how important it is to protect herself.
In her presentation, Kanon spoke of what she learned through the assignment and of the determination she gained.
I realized that after the disaster, people from various areas came to help. I would like to do what I can if other prefectures are hit by natural disasters.
Now, with her assignment completed, Kanon wants to pass on what she's learned about March 2011. It's a task that's becoming increasingly important as communities strive to ensure future generations know what to do should disaster strike again.
Temperatures were in the upper teens today for us here in the greater Tokyo area. Jonathan Oh joins us with a look at domestic and international conditions. Jonathan, what's on your docket?
Well, we are talking about that warm weather. It's going to stick around as we go through the rest of this week, albeit we are